Okay, brothers, welcome back to part two of my story. And the reason why I'm going deep and sharing my story first and foremost with you guys is because when we talk about this journey, I think that a lot of people in whether it's the personal development space or if it's in the coaching space or just business in general today, they just lie all the time and they just make shit up and they tell you things that aren't true and they don't share the truth of the journey. And, when I look at my life today, I've found this that I've only really been able to help people because I tell the truth. And it's uncomfortable. Like it really is for me, for them, for everyone involved. But without telling the truth, you're not going to be able to have the life that you want. So, yesterday, I kind of shared a little bit of the backstory into what childhood was like. And over the space that I share with you, and again, this is really, I mean, more than anything, this is my personal journal. And I'm letting you into the inner workings of my mind because I think that it will help a lot of men. I think it'll help a lot of guys who feel stuck. And again, this will be the last time I probably say it. Ladies, I know you might be listening too. You're welcome to, but full disclosure, this is going to be shit that like I talk about as a man, that I talk about with my guys. And you might not like a lot of it, but it's just going to be true. And and so like today, being a coach, running Unbroken Men. By the way, if you guys go to unbrokenmen.com, we're about to be launching our next live virtual event, which I'm unbelievably fucking excited about. And so, this journey to be this man today, right? I look at it and I go, all right, well, what was the transition? What was the transformation? What was the thing? And I'm going to share a little bit more of that now. So I'm I'm 20, start working at United. I better not say the name of the company. So United something, it could be anything. So I start working for this company after I make this declaration where I'm like, I'm gonna make 100 grand a year. Like that was the goal. Make 100,000 a year. Nothing is more important than that. And to do it legally. My childhood three best friends have been murdered. One was stabbed to death behind a dumpster. One got his head blown off in his own living room. And the other one, we don't know. So those guys are dead. My uncle's in prison for life. A bunch of my cousins are in prison. I'm one of the only people in my family who's never been to jail, probably because I was able to outsmart the cops a lot when I was a kid. And I I knew when I was like 18, I'd watched my best friend get arrested, and I was like, I don't want this. Like I'm good. I'm out. I'm out. Like I'm just done with all of this. And so I made this declaration. I want to make 100 grand a year before I'm 21. This was the unimaginable idea of a reality that I could pull in. I was like, I can do this. And the legal part was important. I just did not want to go down the path that they all went. So I land this job. Next thing you know, by the time I'm 21, I cash my first check for 10 grand. And like any kid, and if you're 21, you're a fucking kid. I don't care what anybody says. Even though I'd been on my own since I was 18 and really since I was 8, I was still a child. So I went to the mall. I still have the watch, the very first watch I bought. It was like a Belova. It was like 800 bucks, something like that. Might have been 1,000. Went and just dropped the bag on the mall, bought a whole bunch of shit I didn't need. And that began the journey of living paycheck to paycheck. I was living in excess constantly, making 150 to 200 grand a year. I, over this period of time, was really in a dark fucking place because I hadn't done any of this work. Like this idea of the man that you see in front of you today is only through really hitting massive rock bottom. So I'm gonna share with you this space of like, here's what my life looked like between 20 to 26. So 20, 21, I'm living with this group of guys. We have a party house. Like we literally have a stripper pole in the house. We have a party bus. We're going to concerts every weekend. We're throwing massive parties with hundreds of people. were getting trashed constantly, by the way. I mean, like on a nightly. One night I got so drunk that I started making out with another woman in front of my girlfriend. Like, that's how crazy it was. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I vaguely remember what happened. And then later that night, because I was so drunk, I ended up pissing all over our closet. I thought it was the bathroom. I pissed all over the closet, all over everything. It was a fucking disaster. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. And that's just what we did constantly, just getting wasted with these guys. And then started the cheating, which was really bad. Like, really bad. What I didn't understand, I'm not justifying it with what I'm about to say. What I didn't understand at 28 and 21, really till I was older, and it probably really just makes sense in the last few years, I was just seeking someone to love me, but I wasn't open to receiving. It's like you're chasing all these things. You're like, I want all these things, and you get them, and then you push them away. That's called self sabotage. And that's what I was doing constantly. And I was in this place where I'm always, I mean, always just fucking women, just constantly. It's fucking insane. Cheating on my girlfriend all the time, like all the time, like not just sometimes, like all the time. And the fact that she stayed with me is insane. Like, I wish someone would have pulled her away from me. I was a monster. And I just kept hurting her and hurting her and hurting her. Eventually, I come to find out she had a miscarriage. And Jay-Z has this line in one of his songs that I'll paraphrase on the 444 album where he's like, you know, I wanted this baby, but God took it from me because I wasn't being a good man. That's the paraphrase. I don't remember the lyrics, so I'm sorry. And so I ended up getting this tattoo. It was the first visible tattoo I ever got. It's a sparrow on my right arm with an anchor with a heart in the bottom of the anchor. And that is a reminder to me, not only of the loss of this child that we should have had, but of the relationship that died shortly after. And so here I am now, I'm like 23, and I meet this girl, another woman online, and we start dating, we start seeing each other. And I kind of like push her into her career. I gave her a lot of space and advice with people that I knew. She's now very known and like crushing it in her career. But again, I rinsed and repeat the same fucking pattern. Here I am. I have this woman that will die for me. Literally, she would probably die for me. And yet I'm going and fucking every other chick I can in our own home, in our own bed, in my car, like everywhere. Like it's fucking chaotic. And it was the same thing. Here I am wanting love, getting this woman that will give me anything, and going and trying to fill up the massive void in my soul from being an abandoned child with women and more drugs, 2 packs a day, drinking, eating bullshit, and not taking care of myself. And then what started to happen, which was really interesting to watch, the worse that my life got, the fatter I got. The worse that my life got in my relationship, the more, and she knew, God, you women fucking know. I know a couple women are listening right now. You need to fucking make your man admit this shit. Men, we're going to get into this later. Because trust me, I'm going to help you solve this fucking problem once and for all. And so here I am in this crazy scenario, heading into 26 years old. I'm now in two relationships. This is fucking 100% true. I'm in two relationships with two different women who don't know each other exist. Like on different sides of town, popping back and forth, making sure that I never get caught in the chaos of it all was like more addicting than any drug or drink I've ever had. I was addicted to the chaos, and they both fucking knew. And it was crazy. And it made me this kind of guy that I just fucking hated. I hated myself. And no one in my friends group did what I do for men today. And why it might be hyperbole, but like I needed someone to smack me in the fucking head and be like, dude, get your shit together. And the thing that I started to notice the thing that I started to notice, which was so interesting, was like they kind of cheered it on. Like my friends kind of cheered it on. They were kind of like, yeah, dude, go for it. And I've only had two nicknames in my life. One I got when I was like in high school. And this was mocking, by the way, which it's funny that today this is like my life. They would call me coach, but they would call me coach like talking shit to me. And the other was when I was like 20, the guys that I lived with started calling me MySpace whore, which, you know, at that time I thought it was funny, but there's nothing funny about it. There's nothing funny about the idea that you would be this man who the only association you have is with being a whore. But I did it. I was doing what everybody told me to do. Get the money, chase the women, have fucking fun. And I kept doing it. And the fun was chaos. I was addicted. Like it's not an understatement to say like the idea that I'd get caught was fucking thrilling constantly. And what that turned into was 5 panic attacks a day, constantly in this space of fight or flight, always lying, losing those same friends, losing both relationships, obviously, losing all my money. And at the height of this, I'm running a wedding studio. Like I'm literally photographing weddings. So most people don't know this about me, but I'm a creative first. And so I was running this wedding studio, making multiple six figures, shooting all these people's weddings. I was living an incredible lie. Like it's fucking insane when I think about it. Like my work was getting published in magazines and blogs. I was speaking at events. I was like making all this money, getting voted as like this amazing photographer on TV shows. Like it was fucking crazy. And the craziest part of it all is that I was in a lie. I'm selling a lie to these people who are paying me all this money. It was insane. It was literally insane. And so here I am. I'm heading into 26. I had left and walked away from my business. Or excuse me, I left and walked away from the Fortune 10 company I was working at to go and really dive into this business. And it was a struggle for sure, but I figured it out. I got a coach, I got a mentor, started making real money. But then this really crazy thing started to happen. The weight kept coming on, the chaos kept going. I started failing all the time. My brothers stopped talking to me. My friends stopped talking to me. My car got repoed. I'm in this crippling debt. I'm having these 5 panic attacks a day. Like that's not an exaggeration. Like it was brutal. It was fucking brutal. And I had kind of started to do this work where I'm like, okay, dude, your life is trash. It's a literal fire. Everything's on fire. And I had to stop hiding it. And I'm gonna tell you a story. This is real fucked up. So I get invited to lunch by one of the women that I'm seeing. Not the one I live with, by the way, but the other one, my side chick, if you will. So I'm invited to lunch with my side chick, and which is probably a rude thing to say, but whatever. It is what it is. And I walk into lunch, and there she is sitting with another dude. And I was like, oh, she's fucking this guy. Like 1000%. And I'm like, but I got this girlfriend at home. And I'm like, whatever about the whole thing. And I like, in my crazy ass mind, because this is how fucking insane I was like, I'm going to marry her. This is going to solve this problem. I'm going to leave the other girl and I'm going to marry this. By the way, her and I, side chick, got into this relationship to begin with because we were cheating on each other's partners. She was cheating on her dude. I was cheating on my girl. Like she was cheating on me. I was cheating on her. It was fucking crazy town. Like literally crazy town. I remember one time I ran into her at a concert and her best friend, which was like super screaming at me at the top of her lungs. Like, you're a piece of shit. You fucking loser. And I was like, Yeah, but she's doing it too. It was so wild. It was so insane, man. And, anyway, so that day, this is a 100% true story. Keep in mind, I'm 25. Yeah, I'm 25. Insane. Everything I'm about to tell you is 100% true. I go to the jewelry store. I buy an engagement ring. I go to her house and no bullshit. Like, I swear to God, this is real. I waited. This is how fucked up I was. I waited for the dude to leave because he was fucking there. And then I went up to her house and I was like, will you marry me? Like, what? And this turned into a really insane evening, which ultimately led to, and I give her a lot of acknowledgement for this. It led to her being like, no, we can't do this anymore. I'm fucking done. And I was like, okay, great. So I did what I normally would do because I was a fucking insane, hurt little boy acting like a man. I went to the liquor store, got a fifth of Jameson, sat in my car outside of the house that my girlfriend was inside of, and I got shit faced drunk. Now, what's really interesting about that is that girl, my side chick, so funny I'm saying that, uh, end up marrying the dude she was cheating on me with on my birthday. It was just like it was like the ultimate fuck you, right? And so here I am in this predicament, 25 years old, all of this chaos in my life, and I hit rock bottom. And I was right about to turn 26. It was like September, August. My birthday's in October. So it was like September, August. It must have been August because it was the CrossFit Games. So I'm 26. The night before, I'd put a gun in my mouth. And I was just fucking done. I was so done. I was just done. I didn't want to do this anymore. I didn't want to live this life anymore. I didn't want to be this man anymore. When I was 14, I downed a bottle of Advil, hoping to end it all. And at 14, I was done. You know, and I went to high school with this kid. I can't remember his name. I wish I could. He would sit at our lunch table and he fucking killed himself when I was like in freshman year. And I remember as a freshman in fucking high school, while most people were crying and devastated by it, I was like, I get it. I get it. Like, this makes perfect sense to me. And so here I am at 26, put this gun in my fucking mouth. And the next day I'm laying in bed and I'm watching the fucking CrossFit Games, eating chocolate cake and smoking a blunt. Like, I'm like, this is it, man. This is the low. This is as low as it gets. And for whatever reason in that moment, I picked myself up out of that bed and I walked my fat ass, literally, it was a fat fuck. I walked my fat fucking 350-pound, size 47 pants, 4XL shirt ass into the bathroom. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I went to war with myself. And I do not mean that in any sense other than literal. Every fucking thing that I could say to myself, I said. You fucking loser, fat piece of shit, you fucking asshole. No wonder you are so fucked up. Like I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It was dark. But it had to be dark because I was hiding from the truth. Like, I was hiding from all the things about me that I always said that I didn't want to be. And as I'm like in this mirror having this moment, like, it's heavy. Like, I'm crying, I'm mad, I'm embarrassed, I'm filled with shame. I'm looking at my disgusting body. I feel like a piece of shit. And that thing that people talk about, and look, I'm a fucking trauma coach. I've been doing this for almost a decade. I've helped thousands of people. The thing that motherfuckers talk about where it's like, meet yourself where you are, be kind, be gentle, be soft. When you are at fucking rock bottom, that shit does not fucking work. It does not work. Fuck you. And everybody who says that they're full of shit. And so I went to war with myself. I was like, "Fuck you, man, you fucking pussy. Like, this is the life that you have? You're fucking 50 grand in debt. You've ruined the relationship with the woman who would die for you. The other bitch don't want you anyway. You're dead fucking broke. You're fat as shit. Your little brother won't even talk to you. Your car's about to get repoed. You have nothing going for you and your business is failing. You're a fucking bitch." And it was true. I was a fucking bitch. I was living a little bitch life, not manning up, not doing what the fuck I was supposed to do. And what I didn't understand is that it was the programming from my childhood that made me that man. Half of that shit wasn't even choice. It was just like you're on the merry-go-round. Somebody puts you on the ride when you're fucking born. And then next thing you know, 20 years later, 30 years, 40 years later, you're on this ride of fucking chaos. And so I'm looking in this mirror, I'm going to war with myself. And I remembered being 8 years old, and this crazy fucking moment happened, and I think this is probably one of the most significant moments of my life, because this is the moment that I learned that this was the moment that I learned, or at least I perceived, that no one gave a fuck about me. So I'm 8 years old, and the water company comes and turns off our water. And we're living in this house. We have this manhole cover in front of the house. And my mom says to me, "Put your arm down there and turn on the manhole cover just enough so it drips water, just so we can fill up a bucket." Now, the bucket we had, like, this is real shit, it would take fucking hours to fill because it's literally a drip. It's like drip, drip, drip. And then she's like, "Go in the backyard, get that other bucket, and then go across the street to Daniel's house." It's Daniel or David. I don't remember. I was fucking like 8. Go across the street to his house and turn on their water and get water and come back home. And that was my life. Avoiding everything. My mom was using money for drugs and alcohol. Stepdad doing the same. Our electricity is getting turned off fucking constantly. How many times as a kid that my brothers and I had to huddle up together and sleep on a concrete floor? We had no fucking bed as kids for a long time, for a couple of years, and we would sleep on concrete floor. And on this concrete floor, which was covered in fucking rats and roaches because we lived in a disgusting piece of shit house, one night a fucking mouse bit me, and another night a roach crawled in my little brother's ear and we had to take him to the fucking emergency room. And 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 it was just always compounding this chaos all around us all the fucking time. And so here I am at 8 years old having this experience going across the street, stealing this water. And I had this clear fucking vision at 8 years old. And I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. When I'm a grown up, this will not be my life. That was it. That was the vision. No matter what, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to live this fucking life that all these fucking asshole losers are telling me I'm supposed to live. My fucking mom and stepdad were fucking losers. Period. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And yes, I know I said hurt people hurt people. It's true. But only losers don't fix their problems. Period. So anyway, here I am going down this path, doing this thing, and I find myself being in what they said I would be. I was literally being what they said. And I remembered as I stared in that mirror, this moment of being 8 years old, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. What's really happening in your life today is that you are not keeping the promise that you made to yourself as a child. And because of that, your life fucking is garbage. And the only person that's gonna fix this fucking problem is you." And that was the beginning. And that was the space where I was like, "Okay, step 1." And this is the hardest fucking step. This is the thing. I mean this. If somebody would have told me how hard this was gonna be, I might not have done it. I really might not have done it because step one was tell the fucking truth. And so 14 years ago, I started telling the truth as often as I could, by the way, because it was so hard. There were so many lies that I used to protect myself because I had to. When the police would come to our house, I'd be covered in bruises and bleeding from my stepdad beating the shit out of me. I would lie. When I'd go to school and I smelled like piss because I'd been wearing the same clothes for 3 days and I wet the bed, I would lie. When I got molested in the church, I would lie. When my grandmother was racist, I would lie. When I would steal food and get caught, I would lie. I would steal clothes from Lost and Found at school, I would lie. All I did was fucking lie. I lied to my clients. I lied to my girlfriends. I lied to my friends. I lied to my brothers. I lied to everyone. I lied to myself. It's all I fucking did. It's all I knew how to do. In fact, my mother taught me how to be a liar. You know, we are the sum total of all of our experiences. Like it or fucking not. Like whether you like it or not, I don't give a shit. You are a product of your environment until you make a decision to no longer be that. That's how this game works. You make a fucking decision. So here I am looking in this mirror and I ask myself a question. And, you know, I've had my battles with God over the years, especially growing up fucking Mormon, which is insane in its own right. And this came from God, Spirit, Mother Nature. I don't know what it came from, but I asked myself a question. What are you willing to do to have the life that you want to have? And the answer was no excuses, just results. And that has been the thing that has driven me now for almost 15 years, which has allowed me to build a thriving coaching business, which has allowed me to have this amazing podcast. Not this one, but Think Unbroken. This is also amazing, but more of a journal. It's allowed me to be a best-selling author, to be on billboards in Times Square, to get flown around the world to speak, to host these giant events, to most importantly help people, but above all else, to be free. Telling the truth has made me free. But if you would have told me in the beginning the taxes I would have to pay on the lies, I don't know if I would have fucking done it. It was very, very, very hard. But that's where freedom comes. It doesn't come from anywhere else. Freedom does not come from going to a seminar and reading the fucking book and going to a course and listening to podcasts. Fuck that shit. Freedom comes when you stop lying. Because if you want to be free, like really, if you want to be free as a man, like you have to stop lying. You have to stop lying about the abuse you suffered as a kid. You have to stop lying about the lies that you've told. You have to stop lying about where you are mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, sexually. You have to stop lying. You have to stop lying about what you want mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually. You have to stop lying about your money. You have to stop lying to your friends about how good you have it. You have to stop lying about these moments in time in which you feel trapped and stuck. You have to stop lying about the anxiety and the panic attacks. Sorry, I'm sniffly. It's allergy season here today. You're not ever, ever going to touch freedom as a man until you stop fucking lying. Period. And I know there's a lot of these gurus and shit out here, and a lot of guys I respect, by the way. I'm not saying that in a defamatory way. They're going to tell you the same thing. Stop lying. Some of them have built their whole programs on it. Same thing I built my program on. Because it's true. And all of us are telling you this for a fucking reason. Because freedom is only on the other side of the lie. Like you want to change your life, be honest. When I went and created my initial values, the values of who I want to be as a man, my very first value was honesty. That was my very first value. And so I told that girlfriend who lived with me everything. Everything. I told my friends everything. I told my brothers everything. I told my clients everything. I told the world everything. And it set me fucking free. It just did. It took a long time, by the way. I mean, the first 4 years, 25 to 29, holy shit. I don't even have fucking words for how hard that was. It was out of control. Just the damage cleanup. Like, just walking into all of these burnt down experiences and being like, "Hey, I'm here to clean up all the fucking bullshit. I'm here to clean up the lies. I'm here to fix the things and patch the walls and lay new floor and rebuild foundations." Most of them are gone forever. Period. As they fucking should be. You don't get back the lie. You don't get it back. Because the version of you, which is experienced by the people that you're connected with, is how they will remember you forever. This is why after cheating, most relationships don't work again. Sometimes they do. I know a couple of friends where they've figured it out, and it's very hard. It's very fucking hard. This is why after failed businesses, which started on lies, they don't work. This is why friendships started on lies don't work. It's why money started on lies don't work. Health started on lies don't work. You know, people ask me all the time, how did I stop being fat? I'm like, you have to do the work, but you have to stop lying to yourself. And as a triple F, an FFF, which I like to call it a former fat fuck, as a FFF, a former fat fuck, what I can tell you, and I will take this to my grave. And I know motherfuckers will come at me with pickaxes and shovels and torches for what I'm about to say. If you're fat, it's your fault. It's not biological. Like 0.001% of people have a biological disposition to being obese, period. The research proves it. Paul Saladino's proved it. Andrew Huberman's talked about it. Who else comes to mind? Mark Hyman talks about it. Tom Bilyeu talks about it. I talk about it. If you're fat, get your fucking life together. Stop blaming the world because you're lazy and a liar. And that's me talking to me. Like, that was the conversation I had with myself. I was like, you're a fat bitch. You're fat. You're fat. You're fat. You're fucking gross. You don't take care of yourself. You fuck all these ugly chicks. You fuck all these hot chicks. You fuck all these in-between chicks, trying to fill yourself up and feel good. You have these crazy friends who all they do is party. Nobody's accountable for nothing. You're a fucking loser. And I was. Period. And if you want to free yourself from that, you have to stop fucking lying. There's no chocolate cake that's gonna make you love yourself. Like, I was laying in bed eating fucking chocolate cake watching the CrossFit Games. There's no chick that's gonna make you love yourself when you're fucking away your emotions and your feelings hiding from the pain. There's no amount of money that's gonna make you love yourself when you don't know how to spend that shit to make your life better. And we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story, like the transformation and the transition. Like, that's coming, that's next. Um, I get it, man. You know, I get it. It fucking sucks. You know, nobody wants to have this conversation. Nobody wants to talk about the abuse that they went through. Nobody wants to talk about how hard it has been. Nobody wants to talk about how empty it feels. No man wants to talk about not having a community, not having support, not having anyone who you can rely on. No one wants to talk about how many times you've tried to change and it's not working. Nobody wants to fucking talk about that shit. I get it. That's why I do it. That's why I've been able to help thousands of men, because I talk about this shit, because I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Because I love myself today. I fucking hated myself for a long time. Fuck, probably till I was like 30. You know what I mean? And it's like, I look at my life today, my life's fucking incredible. It is. It just is, because I fucking built it. Because I said I'm a goddamn king and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to lead. And I'm going to lead first. And I'm going to show these motherfuckers what's possible. So if you're stuck, man, unbrokenmen.com. We're here. I'm not coming to knock on your fucking door though. If your life sucks, man, the tools that we're creating, the community that we're building, this is transformation shit. This is change your life fucking shit. This is like wake the fuck up shit. It gets different. All right. I hope to see you there.